What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick.
I'm Jeff Grunstopher.
Episode number 84 of Vinyl Bang, where today we have a very special guest, Mr. Chuck Bird. Chuck, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Chuck.
Thank you, guys.
You may recognize Chuck. He is the guitarist and singer of the band Deadbird from 20 Buck Spin Records. He also is ex-drummer of the band Paul Bear and ex-guitarist / at one point he played drums for the band Wake. Chuck, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys, dude. I appreciate it. Like I was telling you, Nick, I've been working all weekend on this. We've moved 3 or 4 times since we started having kids, and I've kept my records in good shape, kept them in bins, but no alphabetization. I can't say that word. No, so I got them all in order. I went through everything, and man, I'm telling you, I found things I didn't remember having, but I'm missing some records somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll find a box somewhere in the other side of the basement. But yeah,
no. Absolutely. No,
nobody's ever asked me to talk about records like this, so
I think shout out to Brooke Ann. Right, Jeff?
Yes.
Brooke Rules. I was going to say, you were highly recommended by Brooke. So
I'm not going to live up to her. She's got some really cool stuff.
Nobody has, dude.
Older, probably. I mean, I still buy records, but it's fewer and far between. Right now, I got a 10 and 12-year-old, so
priorities, sure.
And anyway. I won't get off into all that. I got so much stuff to. But kind of there was this era. Y'all were back in the 90s, so 90s and maybe even early 2000s. Underground metal was one of the few genres even putting out vinyl.
Right.
It seemed like to me, and definitely not any major label stuff on vinyl, and records were $18, $12, somewhere around, and now it's gotten popular again. And of course, everything coming out now is really deluxe, nice, gatefold, all, the older stuff's thin, just old kind of records, but,
right.
But anyway,
but yeah, no, let's not waste any time. Let's get into the vinyl talk. Let's see what you brought to the show this week.
Okay. Well, I've got a whole bunch of 12 inches, but I thought I might go through some of these 7 inches first, because there's some interesting stuff in here. What do y'all think?
Yeah, let's knock out some 7 inches. Get the small stuff out of
the way. Okay. Well, they're kind of, I just threw them together. So, this one, this is a botch 7-inch I've got. $3.95. Years and years ago, a band I was playing and played a show with them, so I don't know if I got it there or somewhere else. But Botch is, we love that band.
Oh yeah, Botch was like pioneers in the hardcore.
Yeah. So I've held on to that. I let's see. I've pulled so many. I'm gonna kind of go through some of the. This is a cool one. Right here. It's hard to see. I don't know if you even can. You can barely make it out right there. The Body logo. And so this band Body covering Cop Killer, and then they're covering Millions of Dead Cops with Dead Cops. So that's a cool one. Here's another early Body 7-inch. The Body. I don't know if y'all are into that band at all. They're actually friends of mine. They're originally from Arkansas, and coincidentally, this is this 7-inch right here. Here, I need to back up some. 100 Years War is Chip from the Body. That was his band before the Body.
Now, real quick, when we're talking about the Body,
yeah,
this is the Noise band, or am I thinking of something else? It's a band that collabs with
Full of Hell.
Full of Hell.
Yeah, got that record in here too. Yeah,
okay.
They collaborate with so many people. I haven't. I've got some of their catalog, but I don't have by any means all of it. But
I just want to be sure that we're talking about this because there's probably a million bands out there with
same band, absolutely.
Okay.
So that's kind of some really earlier stuff that I picked up from them. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Burned Up Bled Dry. They're from Fort Smith, Arkansas. They've been going since the 90s. And, their records have come out on like Slap a Ham, which was Chris Dodge's from Spaz, his label. I don't know if, that early power violence scene with Man's Bastard and Spaz and Dystopia and all those guys. So they weren't really power violence. They're more like hardcore with some blasting, but they're a really great band. And I've gotten to record them a few times. This one's cool. Yeah. I won't get into all that. It'll take too long to explain.
Burned Up, Bled Dry. That's what I want. I want some punk, some hardcore, some power violence. That's the recommendation. You're off to a good start, Chuck. Because I love the power violence, man. I've never heard of Burned Up, Bled Dry.
I do too. I mean, Man is a Bastard, and
I love that name, by the way. Burnt Up, Bled Dry. That's a brutal fucking name.
That sounds like really is.
Black Market Activities would have put out. That's a great fucking name.
What's funny too is, they're like the nicest guys you've ever met, but that's how it goes. But so it's power violence. This one is BG, and then that band Iron Lung. And BG is basically it's several members from Burned Up, Bled Dry. So the singer of Burned Up, Bled Dry, his brother did vocals in this band. And then I recorded them, and then they asked me out on tour as a second guitarist, which was really cool for them to do. I also think they knew I had a van, so that might have helped me get in there. But I got to see all sorts of really cool bands play house shows all the way out through California. Something totally different than any tour I'd ever been on. I ate all sorts of vegan food. Didn't know what I was eating, but it was good. Anyway, so that's that. Iron Lung amazed me. They were 2-piece, and the drummer was triggering samples with his left foot, and it was just an assault. They were tight as could be.
They're one of the best live bands I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I agree. Me too. I was just floored because going out on that tour, several of the bands I hadn't heard of before, and so getting to see them for the just totally blind was really cool. Those are some of my favorite experiences when you don't know shit about a band and then you go see them, you're like, wow. But okay, I'm getting mired down in these 70s. We're gonna have to cut them off. Where are we at? All right, time wise. Okay. So if we get to all of it, you'll find out that I've been a massive Neurosis fan since 94 or 3 or so. And I've got a lot of their stuff, but this is something I scored not too long ago, which is a really early 7-inch, where they've got Richard Ramirez on the cover there. It's the Aberration EP. So I thought that was worthy of showing. I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just good old black. Yeah, I'm gonna get selective on these and we'll get through them. But I think I would like to see this one. This was um, Ben Falgaus from Soylent Green and Goathorpe had a label there for a minute, and I don't know what else he put out, but it was Incision Records, and so it was an I Hate God Soylent. It's an I Hate God Soylent Green split, and it's real cool how they did the packaging here. It's kind of got this frame in it, and then if I can get this out of here, there's I Hate God on one side, and then you got Soylent Green on the other side, so you can kind of change the look of that. But the coolest thing about this record is, Brian Patton was still in both of these. Well,
Yeah.
he's back in Soylent Green since they've reformed, but he was still in I Hate God too. And it was cool to be able to flip the record over and hear his riffs distinctly in both bands,
Sure.
but just kind of presented differently, I guess.
Brian Patton, Baltimore
All right,
native.
y'all go ahead.
I'm just shouting out Brian Patton. He lives in Baltimore, Maryland, whereas I'm from Maryland, so I see him every
Man,
now and then. And I love
he's
Soylent Green.
man, me too. Me too. That's well, they're back together too. So who knows? Who knows? But they were one of the most unique bands that came out back then. Us being from Arkansas, we kind of had a scene. Wake came out of it, and I don't know. Crankbait is another band but Paul Bear. But there's a ton of bands that are good there, and
Crankbait. That's my next one I'm looking up. I haven't even.
Yeah,
check that band out.
They're like a 2-bass band, a no guitar player, drums, and they started that way back in '91, and I would think they're on Bandcamp for sure.
They are.
But it's good. It's good stuff. And they're really good live. I mean, really, really intense. But let's see. Yeah. So this actually here, this is a lathe cut, 7-inch. I guess it's square. But I just listened to it yesterday, and it's their first demo, so it's really cool. And I've got a download card here.
What's the name of the band again?
Crankbait.
Crankbait.
Yep,
I've used that. If you can write those numbers down, you can get that demo.
Okay. Just for full transparency for everybody watching this episode, that download code is no good. I already used it, so.
That's right.
By the time this episode goes up, I'm going to have that fucking thing in my collection. So. Sorry.
Yes, it was intended for you guys.
Thanks.
This is cool. This is 100 out of 225. It's part of the In These Black Days series. There we go. That Hydra Head did, Aaron Turner. They did different bands covered Black Sabbath. So this one was Neurosis and Soylent Green, who we just talked about. Neurosis does Children of the Grave, and it's just,
I have that same. I have that exact 7-inch. I love it.
Yeah. So this one came. It was weird. I picked it up years after they put this series out. It's like they found some, or I don't know, something. But I got that.
Yeah. Same deal. I don't know how. I think some people just. I got lucky. I showed up in a store one day and found that very one. I was like, "Holy shit!" And I grabbed it because anything Soylent Green.
That's what
they cover
I missed.
Lord of the World or something,
Go
right?
ahead. I'm so sorry.
They covered Lord of this World, I think.
Soylent Green.
Yeah.
I've never seen that split. I never knew that Neurosis did a split with Soylent Green.
I almost think they did a medley, if I remember right. Oh, it's all just black. Oh, that's funny. It doesn't list anything. So I am lame and don't remember. But
No.
I'm trusting. I'm going with you.
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
Lord of this World. I could be wrong.
What are the cool things in here? I've got some Miss Heroes Gone here. These are both the same 7-inch. One of them's a European press right here, and this is the American press. That's one of my all-time favorites bands.
Now, who was that? Which band was that?
Say it again. I'm so sorry.
That 7-inch you're showing right there. What band is that?
His Hero's Gone.
His Hero is Gone. Okay.
They were out of Memphis, and now there's two brothers in that band, the Burdett brothers, and now those guys are in Tragedy. They moved to Portland and started the hardcore band Tragedy, which I love them too. And
fuck yeah.
But Todd's gone on to he did a really cool band with the drummer of, was it Mournful Congregation or something like that? Like a really slow funeral doom band, but it was really heavy, but it had like black metal influences and stuff in it. And the songs were really long. It was like total anti Todd Burdett, but it's really cool.
I don't know much about His Hero Is Gone. I do know one night I saw Drugs of Faith live, and JR from Pig to Shore came out and they covered His Hero Is Gone song.
That's cool, man. Yeah, there's not any other band that really sounds like them. They do some weird stuff, but really cool.
Yeah.
I am probably getting bogged down in these guys. Let me see if I can find something really cool. This one's cool. I swear I have more Coalesce on vinyl somewhere, but this is a Converge Coalesce 7-inch split I got thousands of years ago. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This one's something I need to show, and we can start moving on from these. Are y'all Wino fans at all? Do you like?
I'm aware of who he is. He's like Saint
Spirit
Vitus
Band or the Obsessed or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm like Nick. I know who the guy is, but I'm not.
Right.
Not
the first time we saw them, they opened up for Corrosion Conformity and Clutch, and they were called Shine. So what's funny is my brother bought this 7-inch, and then years later gave it to me, which was a really nice gift. But that one's cool, and I would think it's hard to find, but hell, I don't know. I've never I've never really, unless it's just the end of the world. I've never thought about selling my records. If it's the end of the world, nobody's going to pay for them, so I don't know. But,
that's a good mentality. and just real quick, if you said that you are missing records and they're stashed away somewhere or you don't need them, I'm going to come help you look for them. And whenever I find them, I'm going to be like, Chuck, I don't know what happened to your records. You've got some gems, dude. You've got some really fucking good records, dude.
Man, I appreciate it. There's some neat stuff in here. I'm going to skip through a lot of it. This was neat. and I got this one out of Henry Vasquez and John Perez's record store down in Fort Worth. I can't remember nothing anymore, guys. But I wish I could shout out their name, their record store name. It's really cool. But they had this back behind the counter, and I'd never seen it or heard of it. But it's a Blast, the old SST band that sounded a lot like Black Flag, but I enjoyed them. I mean, they were faster and kind of tighter, and they just took what Black Flag did and did it a little different. And then I'm a sucker for I Hate God, so I got that. Let's see, we can probably skip it. So this one's cool. This is another In These Black Days, and this was actually bought back when these were out. And this one actually has 4 bands on it. It's got Cavity from Florida, which was one of the very first sludge bands, like them and Buzz Oven and guys like that played together. Cable, I don't know if you remember those guys. They, it was that weird kind of era where Hydra Head Records and hardcore was doing crazy stuff. Dillinger Escape Plan and things like that. But this has Jesuit on it, which Jesuit Nate Newton from
Converge
and KBN. This was his early band. And then it's got Overcast, which I think is maybe a European hardcore band.
No, it's Brian from Shadows Fall, right?
Oh, okay. See, I was wrong, flat wrong, right there. Let's see here.
It was like his hardcore band.
That's cool. So I mean, I love Black Sabbath, of course. So we just talked about Jesuit. That's a 7-inch of theirs. Actually, we actually got to play a show with them and Botch. I'm trying to remember if anybody else was on that tour with them. But it was kind of, they were both on Hydra Head and they came through Arkansas and we got to open for them. So that was really cool. Kind of early in our scene where bands that we looked up to and were from other places started coming through. And then I'm gonna get out of these 7 inches, but here's a couple of I Hate Gods that I've held on to forever.
Awesome.
Ruptured Heart Theory, 7-inch there. It's of all colors, it's pink, but
so that's funny because it looks red. That's an ongoing thing with me. Like whenever I have a red record, it always looks pink, but you have a pink record that looks red. Like we're in alternate universes.
Maybe it's red, and I just can't. Yeah, and my colors. Everything else is my eyes and my ears and everything. So I wouldn't doubt it. And this one is Southern Discomfort, and it's also got 13 on the other side, which was Liz Buckingham from, well, she's an Electric Wizard now. She was in Sourvein. That was her old. I think they were all female. They may have had a male drummer, but anyway, so that one's a cool one. Yeah, let's see. All right. Here's a couple more things, and I'll quit on these.
We're gonna have to have you on for another episode, dude. We're gonna have to have you on for another episode. I mean, if you're like, oh, this one maybe, no, not this one, this one. Yeah, I smell a part 2 for sure.
Well, hell, I'd love to do it. Let's see. Okay, about 20 minutes in. I better speed it up. but I don't want to cut y'all off either. I'm doing
No,
all the talking, so
you're doing good with time. So go ahead.
This ain't a record, but it's like the first Coalesce that I know of. Now, I'm not saying it's the first thing they put out, but they had a different drummer, they had a different bass player, and they were incredible. But it was more straightforward than what they ended up being.
Mhm.
So we always loved that one. Everything they did. And then because I don't have any good grief on 12-inch, but I've got some 7 inches here, and they're splits. So
Nice.
grief. This one is falling apart, and then on the other side, it's that band 13 again,
Nice.
and then this one is No Choice. Really, really, they always had really cool covers. You kind of stare at and find all sorts of details in.
I
But
love the torso. Suppression on the other side.
yeah, it's got Suppression on the other side.
Another
It's
cool
good.
2-piece.
some sort of, I guess, fuchsia. I don't know. I don't know what color that is. All right. I think I better get into. I don't know. What do y'all think? You got any questions or
Yeah,
should I
I
keep
need your
going?
No, I need your address. And I'm not kidding. I'm gonna come hang out. I want to go through your fucking records, dude. Wow.
I swear I'm missing some good ones too. I don't know where they are, but
You're really not gonna know where they are. I hate to keep on, man, but wow. Nick, come see me. We'll go travel down and see Chuck.
well, hell, let me see. This is more somewhat chronological, but when I was about 5, and I remember doing it, but my parents tell me about it. They had, Dad had all the British invasion stuff, and they got. I guess I got a little record player, maybe a play school thing. I don't know, but they said I'd spend 4 or 5 hours back there by myself listening to those records, and so Beatles, Beach Boys, Herman's Hermits, anything like that. But then Mom had
Nice.
Led Zeppelin 1 and 2. So when I found those, I was like, "Now wait a minute." so, that's kind of because there's been several times in my life where she said, and she's kind of joking, but I wish we'd never let you get into that metal stuff. And I said, "Well, it's your fault. You had the Led Zeppelin records,
Right. That's where it all started, man.
you know, everybody's got these earlier records. So I won't go through all these. This one's special because that's the first one I bought on my own when I was a kid. Saved up my allowance and went and bought this. I had Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll too, but I can't find it. So that's another reason why I think I'm missing stuff. But so that's not necessarily my favorite Van Halen now, but back then it was shit. This one's interesting here. Okay, this one's a pretty good story. So this is the OG band cover of "To Hell with the Devil" by Stryper, which I my mom's an artist, my dad's a musician, rock musician, but we also were raised in the Southern Baptist Church. So, the when I first started getting into this stuff, I was 11 or 12, and this was, the first band I could get them to buy for me. So, but I didn't have this cover. I had the regular edited cover, and we were staying at Chip and Lee's from the Bodies place once again up in oh gosh, the little bitty state, Providence, and
Name.
he gave this to me. So this was in Chip's collection, and he gave it to me, and so I thought both those things were cool. Let's see. I got some Motley Crue here. Really, these first two. That's it. And these are great, in my opinion. I will still listen to these. The drumming on here, Tommy Lee. I know he's an idiot, asshole. They all are, except for maybe Mick. But he really had some unique stuff drum wise back then. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we're going to move into. So it's obvious that I spent some years listening. I've got Rat Out of the Cellar in there too, because that one just still holds up to me. But
Great guitar work on that record.
Exactly. That's what I like. To me, it's kind of. I think my theory is, Unchained by Van Halen. It's one of the best songs, best riffs. That riff at the front, if you listen to Round and Round by Rat, or there's a whole section of guitarists that came off of that riff, I think, and Jakey Lee's probably my favorite, but George Lynch, Warren DeMartini, and actually the big guy, Robin Crosby and Rat, that passed away. He was kind of the mastermind, but yeah, I'm trying to think of more, but then of course Black Sabbath. I heard them pretty early on. Used to they would have those cassettes in the gas stations that were like bootleg.
I remember those. Yep.
Do you remember those?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the first Sabbath I got. So it sounded pretty rough, but I've got the first 5 out of the first 6 here. I don't know where my Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is, and I was really upset about that when I realized that. But well, I didn't put Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die in there. I don't know why I didn't do that. But then, of course, the obligatory Iron Maiden. My cousin had this and showed me the cover, and I was, as a kid, I was freaked out, but also fascinated. So, and they're just an amazing band. Unleashed in the East, Judas Priest. Man, their version of Victim of Changes on this is just incredible. But I love that live album.
Nice.
We're going to move up here. This Rain and Blood, it's an old copy, Def Jam recordings. Pretty sure it, it's probably not a first press or anything, but it was old. That's one of the most intense records to me still. I can still put it on and be like, I don't even know if they were detuned at all. I don't think they were. There's no triggers on the drums, and the way, Rick Rubin didn't record it. He didn't know how to record anything, but supposedly is what he says. But he knew how to pick engineers. I don't know, man. This thing just sounds totally different than all the thrash records that came out. The kick drums are full and big, and the drums just sound so natural. Like when he does that double bass fill in the middle of Angel of Death, there's like one one kick drum hit that's not as hard as the others, and I think that makes it perfect. It makes it beautiful because it's just human, and I don't. It's astounding to me. I don't. They didn't. I don't think they cut to a click or anything. They just did it.
Oh yeah. That would definitely stand up against the best of them for sure.
There's lots of extreme stuff out there these days, but this one still, to me, hangs with,
Yeah.
just about anything.
Awesome album.
One of my favorite bands, and I was kind of late to the party on Trouble. I remember seeing them on Headbangers Ball when this album came out. I think at the end of my days, they did a video for, and I was pretty clued in to what Rick Rubin was doing at that point, and he was signing different, Slayer and Trouble, and but as good as these records are, they didn't get the same kind of attention. But
right.
This is a re-release. I've actually got the that's the original Def Jam CD, which I haven't checked in a while, but it used to sell for $75, $100. But a good friend of mine gave that to me. He knew how much I loved him. He just gave me that. So, not a record though. Not a record. So I'm breaking rules.
Oh no, not at all. The physical media is all welcome. We have yet to have we ever had an 8-track on the show yet, Nick?
Who?
An
8-track? I don't think maybe somebody's broken. I haven't seen one.
Man, this
Doug Brown was showing us shit that I've never even heard of. Like his 35-inch records and shit. Guy, there was a lot of stuff that I've never seen before, but an 8-track, I don't think we've ever had an 8-track on the show. So.
That's I don't have any of those.
I don't
and the reel to reel that I guess was before that. My friend's mom had Kiss Alive 2 on one of those reels, like with the cover and everything. And I've never listened to a reel like that, but it's got to be one of the higher quality analog representations,
Oh yeah, that's like direct from the source.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that is the source.
Exactly. And back then there wasn't anything but analog, so everything was mixed and mastered and everything for vinyl and I don't know. I would like to look into getting some of those reel to reels, but I don't really see them anywhere. So
we have to get a reel to reel for the Vinyl Bang theme song.
I like tape.
What
you say? I missed it. I'm deaf as hell.
I said I want to get a reel to reel from Scott Hall of the Vinyl Bang theme song.
There you go.
I want the direct source. Now that digital shit.
Right? No, I agree, man. All right, so that was timeless. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
I'm sure y'all heard this a million times. So, but this is the first one we all kind of got into, and there was a video, like a VHS they put out called "Salad of 1,000 Delights." That Lori. Black. I'm not sure. She was playing bass on this, but they were mainly playing songs from this in that video, and Joe Preston was on bass. But anyway, I've got some some pretty cool stuff here that y'all might find interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, and I think I'm missing some of this stuff too, but me and Jeff, who I mentioned before, back when we were kids, we were in this band called Mother's Day Out, and we actually put out one record on Chrysalis Records. It's a long story how all that happened, and anyway, that would be another episode probably that nobody would watch. Anyway, we used to on the road. We were always hunting for record stores, and then me and him were in a competition on who could find the coolest, rarest King Diamond and Merciful Fate stuff, and it was pretty cutthroat. But anyway, so I mean that's a copy of them. That's probably my favorite King Diamond. It's hard to decide between that and Abigail, but then I've got Conspiracy on picture disc there.
Nice.
I've got two versions of No Presents for Christmas.
Okay. Promo copy, maybe.
I don't know if one of them was. This one was manufactured in the Netherlands. This one was in Amsterdam. I don't know, honestly. What's the difference? But if I saw it, I just bought it back then. Let's see if I got anything. Oh, yeah. So these are two cool ones that we ended up both finding. And I don't think they're too hard to find, but these are before, they were really on I don't see any label on here, this was before Road Racer, Road Runner. And then here's another one. And it's got all the early songs on there. And then and I got this Merciful Fate Melissa picture disc, and it's actually says it's limited edition picture disc number 280. Oh, on the sticker it says 280 out of 1,000. So I don't know.
Nice.
All right. I had y'all excited earlier, and I think I'm losing you. So we're going to have to move into some better areas. We're going to have to get out of the 80s here. All right.
No, nothing against the 80s, but just the power violence bands, the newer stuff, man, I love it. I love hearing about, the power violence that I've never heard before, and underground stuff from Arkansas that I've never heard before. Like, come on, bring me that shit.
Man,
Merciful Fate, nothing against King Diamond and all that, but
right. No, I hear you.
Power
I
violence.
hear you. I wish that I had. I've got some Little Rock stuff on vinyl, but some of the best stuff. So, when we moved down there, man, there were some incredible bands that that were making demo tapes. So I've got some of those stored away, but I don't know. It would be so cool to see them on vinyl. Let's see. I'm trying to think of more stuff like that. Anyway, dang it. So, of course, everybody knows this record. It just got the surprise release. I mean, I love all this stuff, but I really almost think this might be my favorite one.
Me too. I fucking love the Sciences, dude.
It's just incredible. I mean, everything they did on it was just really cool. Of course, we heard the Holy Mountain back kind of when it came out. They got some traction with Gummo, and I don't know, but I don't have that on vinyl. I wish I did. This is one of the many Southern Lord versions of Dope Smoker, but this one's cool. This way before anybody put out an official release. The first official release was that green disc with the guy on a mat, kind of, and I don't know what they were calling. It was called Jerusalem, but this has got some of the coolest Eric Roper artwork on it. It's got this cross on the back with the weed leaf crucified on it, and they just bootlegged their own record essentially. Because London Records had shelved it, so I thought I'd show y'all that. And then,
That's rad.
I'm a dork for this stuff, so I've got the original Clarity thing with the etch there, and the links beneath, and then I bought them both together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. This is a Soylent Green Soundmouth Secrets on Relapse, of course, but this was cool. A little different. It's on this cream colored vinyl, but then it also
The String of Lies 7-inch.
it's got a 7-inch. So you're very aware of this edition. So it's got that in there as well.
The OG one, nice.
And
I have that same cream colored one, but it didn't come with the 7-inch.
That's a great album. I still think my favorite one is the first one, Pussy Soul, or the first one that I heard anyway. So, just real quick, this has actually been a huge. This band's been a huge influence on Deadbird. Neurosis was a big one, and then Sunny Day Real Estate. I don't know if y'all probably are like, I'm sure you know them, and it's an acquired taste.
So, I recognize the cover and the band name, of course, but I never really got into them. I remember they had a song on MTV in the '90s. They had a video on MTV in the '90s.
Yeah.
I don't recall what it was. And didn't their guitar player go into Foo Fighters?
Well, yeah, their bass player did.
Bass player.
And he's still in there. And actually, their drummer recorded the whole second record for them, and
Dave Grohl wasn't a fan of it and re-recorded
Dave Grohl went back and redid them all without telling him.
That.
And when he found out, he was so pissed he just quit. And William Goldsmith's he's one of my favorite parts of the band because they're all from old punk bands. He was in the band Christ on a Crutch, and he just slams the hell out of them. It's heavy music, but it's I guess, for lack of a better word, they call it emo, but it's anyway. Did y'all ever listen to Bloodlead at all?
A little. They were old hardcore bands.
Okay, so y'all are aware of them. See, I started off strong with the 7 inches, but now I'm getting into. You're like, yeah, we know that one.
Yeah, come on, quit playing around.
Where's the good shit at? Oh, me.
That's funny.
All right. Let's see. Okay. This is one of my favorite records of all time. Today's the Day, Willpower. You're probably pretty familiar with that one too.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the most recent one, I think, and Steve Austin remastered it, and It really sounds incredible. You can really hear the bass lines. And there's that the first two records that were put out by the three-piece band were just incredible. I mean, I like all their stuff, but those first three were great. That's a hyper realist copy of Baroness Second back when it originally came out. I have first as well, but I don't know where it is. So that's upsetting. And then this was kind of cool because it is it was a super limited. So Relapse put this out, but they allowed Hyper Realist to release their own special edition.
This is the one with the.
I don't know what the run was, but a friend
It's like
of mine.
15. It's like 1500. This is the one with the
1500? Okay.
the red one with the etching on the edges.
And I haven't never opened it, which is strange for me because I don't plan on selling it, but I just kept it sealed.
So there's that particular one. It's got etching along the borders of all both records. So and it's on a red vinyl. So when you spin it, it makes like a little pattern as the turntable spins. It's John's artwork that's like etched into it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to open it. See, that's what's cool too. Is back when we were touring, we'd play shows with them. I mean, they weren't. They were roughly the same size band we were. But they would just destroy it. It was just ridiculous. Y'all are super familiar with this. I got this when it came out, and it was a weird kind of negative part of my life, and this record I really connected with, everything, lyrics, but just the sheer speed of this thing. I listened to it again yesterday when I found out, about Tomas's cancer. Man, I had no idea about that. But and terminal spirit disease is really good. It's a little more varied than this, but I just think it's punishing that I think it's. I mean, the record's got to be pretty close to the same tempo all the way through. And so, anyway, you very well may know this one.
Yep.
So you got this one.
Okay. No, I don't own it. I wish I did. But yeah, I'm very much a fan of Atsuk. You pronounce it. Okay, we've had several different pronunciations of that band on the show. Pronounce that band. What is the name of that band?
I call them Assuk, but
Assuk.
Like you, we're from Arkansas, so when Sepultura first came out, we all said Sepultura. We didn't know any better. So, but so y'all know the deal on this one. I mean, it just rips. Henry from Floor and Dove and House of Lightning, he played for a minute with these guys. They all knew each other. Steve from Torch. I mean, he was in Floor as well, so they're all kind of interconnected. But they just this guy was a big deal for them, kind of growing up. But yeah, that record blew me away. And you probably know this record as well. Don Slaughter's Son, Crown of the Triarchy.
No, never heard of that.
Okay, this came out on Necropolis Records, which is no longer a label, but they had some cool stuff for a while. Now they've done these re-releases on Century Media, but this is a Swedish it's a Swedish black metal band, but unlike the majority of Swedish black metal bands, if that makes any sense. Here's their picture on the back. They no paint or anything. They do have some fancy kind of old school clothing here and some swords on the inside. But the lyrics are real personal and kind of more like Tomas from At the Gates or something. And man, Peter Tachtern did it, and I think it's one of his best recordings. And it's so, I don't know. It's really it's ripping. It's fierce. It's pissed off, but it's really melodic. It's really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's great. People say they're Dissection influenced, but I love Dissection, but it's not really that either. Kind of that era of Swedish stuff like Marduk and stuff when it was just an hour full of just straight blasts, but this is a lot more interesting to me. So that's one of my favorite black metal records. Of course, all the Dark Throne. I realized when I was going through my records that I did not have Transylvanian Hunger, which is my favorite, so I ordered it. Ordered that one on vinyl.
Good way to cure that.
This one might be interesting to y'all. It may not be at all. But this was a Converge's first full length. I think they had one Haystack and Needles and Haystack, something like that. It might have been a compilation of demos, but this is what got us into that band. And I just listened to it the other day, and it's still incredible. So that's an old one on Equal Vision. And then this one's on Equal Vision as well. And the cool thing about this copy is that it's two records, and it's on 45 RPM. So, like Metallica and some of these bands lately have been doing deluxe releases where they'll do 2 LPs and do it on 45 because you get higher clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But this was just a ripping record back then. Now I've got a record you're probably really familiar with, but it's kind of crust punk. You could fit it into the Power Violence maybe.
Yeah.
But this record just blew us away. And then they immediately turned into Grief, which blew us away as well.
That's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
And, it's kind of funny. Back during the pandemic and stuff, I became friends with Terrence Savastano, and I was talking to him about this stuff because they use the same producer on all their stuff, and it's the same tones, it's the same drum sounds, it's everything. When you switch over to Grief, it's just 1,000 times slower. And Terry said, "Yeah, man, we used all the same gear, same pedals, everything, So they went from one extreme to the other. Engine Kid, did y'all listen to this?
No, never heard of Engine Kid.
Okay. This has been re-released by Southern Lord. It originally came out on Revelation Records.
Okay.
And Greg Anderson played guitar and did vocals in this band. And they were a 3-piece, but it was hardcore and maybe a little post-hardcore, but really kind of unlike anything I've ever heard. And really cool. Still sounds unbelievable. And the riffs and the playing, it's a little more kind of like technical today's day stuff, but it's melodic too, heavy. Anyway, so that one's a great one. That, or at least I think so.
Engine Kid.
What about Cattle Press?
Where do I know that name from? They did a split with Agoraphobic.
I've got that one too. Yeah,
They did a split with Agoraphobic Nosebleed.
Yeah.
That's where I know that name from. So I'm like, I fucking know.
It's cool too. This one came out on Hydra Head, but they're from Brooklyn, and it's just unhinged as hell and pissed off and evil, you know. I recommend it. It's great.
Nice. Yeah, you dude with Hydra Head, you can't really go wrong. I mean,
I agree, and I can't quite figure out what's going, because I didn't think they were a label anymore, but sometimes they sell stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
They were a label that I followed very intently.
Oh, we did too.
Once I discovered them, I was just anything they did, I was like, want that.
Well, basically anything that came out on there, we would check out, because
sure.
That's how it was. I mean, and I'm sure it still is that way, you know. But I'm kind of out of the loop. But you know, Southern Lord was another label where there was a good time period there where pretty much anything on that. But anyway, yeah. You know, but the Bloodlet thing earlier, you know, we had Earth Crisis and Snapcase and that early Victory stuff. That was a cool label. I you know, I don't know what happened, but
they got overtaken by like emo and like pop punk.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's save that. Exactly. Save that label. I mean, they made millions in the 2000s with a lot of those bands, but bands like Hatebreed with Satisfaction, stuff like that like sold.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
You're right.
Really well for them. So, you know.
Yeah. You're right. I bet that's that first breakout release for them, probably.
Yeah.
I didn't think
they had a lot of bands though that like in the early 2000s that were like Warped Tour bands that basically became their Nickelback and helped repress a lot of like that people wanted repressed. So that's exactly what happened to Victory. Victory. They went from being like
it's crazy Nickelback. I don't know. Is Nickelback still on Roadrunner?
I don't know. It'd be crazy if they are, because like I think they're now like Island or something like that. I don't remember. Some major label merged with them, so I don't remember who it was.
Right? Yeah, that was crazy. But you never know what's going to come out on Roadrunner no more. But I don't know that y'all really need to see all these. Y'all are probably ISIS fans.
Saw about
Oceanic. Oceanic's probably my favorite. This is a clear vinyl version. This was on, that's on Ipecac. But I do have this Red Sea. It's like an 8-inch or something, or a 9-inch. It's weird. But anyway, kind of opens up into there, and we got some green vinyl. And
let's say the vinyl.
What you
opened it up, but it was off screen. Like hold up the vinyl, because like when you were opening it up, we couldn't see the vinyl. There you go.
Okay.
And we couldn't see the packaging.
Here's the vinyl. Let me turn it around.
Right on.
It's just it's weird. The color scheme too. It's pretty red and black, and then they got the green vinyl.
Green vinyl.
But
that Aaron Turner, you never know what he's going to do.
That's right. That's one of my all-time favorites. The self-titled Floor. This was a clear vinyl. What else? That's my favorite. Wake. Voices of Omens. Well, their new one's really good too.
This is a good answer to the last episode where we had our guest Zach Joe from Extafolic Carnage and Vamana brought up a couple of Wake albums that we were going back and forth about. The band WAKE from Canada, and then RWAKE from Arkansas. They were like, he was like, which one are we? Is this Wake?
And they're both great.
Yeah, but that answers our question, since we have a member of the band, an ex-member of the band. It is actually Wake.
Yes.
Okay.
It is, and it's funny. It's because there is that band Wake, WAKE now. That was their original name.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know exactly how it happened, but somehow they found another band by that name. And so we used to drink a whole lot of Robitussin cough syrup back then. Especially CT, the singer. But hey, I was right on up there with him. But the R came from him trying to say it while he was tripping his ass off on Robo
tripping.
Instead of saying Wake, it was coming like Wake. Because that shit just totally slows you down, and you
sure. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Robot high step.
I mean, I've heard. I don't. We don't condone.
Man, we did so much stupid stuff back then.
There was a scene in Houston, a hip hop scene dedicated to people doing a lot of that Robitussin, robo tripping, and then slowing down the.
Yeah.
So that is a thing.
Right.
That is a thing.
Yeah. It's a pretty heavy trip, man. We kind of went. Anyway, I know we're running out of time. I won't go into all that.
I need to remember that. Like Melanie, my wife's going to the store tomorrow. I'm gonna have her pick me up some Robitussin.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
I'm sorry. My hearing ain't worth a shit. All right,
man. Let's end this episode on a high note.
Now close it out. Of course, you've heard this. Celtic Frost. I used to say Celtic, but as I've gotten older, I've matured, and now I say Celtic.
Learn the error of my ways.
I was kind of late to the table on these guys. At first, they always sounded to me like the riffs were like, it's like he would pick one fret away from the note that you should hit. And that's what makes it so damn good. And then, I didn't get the vocals. And then once I did, I was like, well, shit, that's one of the best parts too. But anyway, this is my favorite album by him. And I will quit. I will quit.
That was good.
Thank y'all for having me on. I know I just kind of talked the whole time.
No.
And when very.
That's what we want. That's what we want. It keeps me and Nick from having to entertain people. We have other people on to do our job for us. That's what you done good, Chuck. You done good.
Chuck, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. This was we were a little over 50 there, but that was great. So a lot of really cool records that some that me and Jeff had never heard of. Like I told you at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of stuff.
Well, man, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm glad I had a few things y'all hadn't heard of.
Yes.
Y'all know your shit. So the rest of the stuff I had was probably pretty pedestrian.
No. It's the best part of this show is learning the new stuff. I mean, sometimes people will come on the show with stuff that both Jeff and I have in our collection. We love to see it because they're like, cool. It's not as rare.
Mhm.
We're not
Oh,
the only
absolutely.
ones
Right.
who love this
Right.
band, who own this record. That's a great feeling to see stuff like that. So, again, we appreciate this stuff that you brought on. It's always a treat to see there's people sharing the same interest as both Jeff and I.
Man, I appreciate you guys
And shout out to the Portal,
inviting me on.
the Portal shirt. I love it. I should have said something in the very beginning.
Yeah. Oh, man, I was going to show you
Let's do it.
that.
Let's do it. We got
Now,
the Portal.
this is kind of cool. This is their last album. Well, it's their last two albums because one of them was a noise record. So it's a Vow and Hagbulbia. I don't know how you say it. But
cassettes.
they came in 2 cassettes, and I don't know what to say about it. It's Portal, but
Very unique, very dark sounding band. They have very cool releases and the packaging. I have those as well. I have almost everything that they put out, but like they are one of those bands that hands down, like people say to me like, oh, they suck. I'm like, hey man, I don't know any band that they sound like or that they're trying to sound like. So, like they're very unique to me. I've always been a big fan of uniqueness, and they are one band that just they stand out. So,
and I think they know exactly every note they're playing. You know what I mean? Because, well, I know I ran over time, but there's a band that some of the members are in.
Impetuous Ritual.
Impetuous Ritual, and the Rites of Darkness Fest down in San Antonio. 2010, 2011. I don't know. It's probably last year they had it, but that band played, and it just sounded like a cacophony. But they changed and knew and moved. I mean, they knew. They were. As a listener, you're like, how could you discern when it's time to change? But they knew.
Yeah.
So I've yet to see Portal, so I would really love to be able to see them. But yeah, I've taken up enough of your time. I can talk my ass off, especially when it's about this stuff, and so I will let you guys go and eat dinner and be with your family, not shut my ass up.
No, we appreciate.
But thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Chuck. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week, and we will see you.
Chuck, I appreciate. I real quick. I appreciate the Burned Up and Blood Dry, and go ahead and send me your address because I'm going to come see you, and it's going to be a free for all. Whenever we find the records, we can I can have whatever I keep. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
I had a blast. It was really cool.
So did we, for sure. We will see you all next week.
Bang, bang, bang.